Hello and welcome. Tenax Season 5 is here. Crazy to think that there have been 4 seasons previously of this, and I am looking forward to it because you are joining us at the very start of this season, week 1, and we have got an interesting game ahead of us between Prosperity and Skyline Otters. And I'm Jaffa, and I'm a little cupcake, but if you come across me in ranks, I'll be taking names, but I can't be doing this alone. I have got a good friend with me, Zero Fight. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing great. Good weather outside, a great day to start off 10X series here. And it's an exciting matchup. Two teams. I feel like we've seen a lot in the past, Prosperity X and Skyline, both with a little bit of a different look to them so far with those rosters. So we'll have to see how they kind of bow out and how those adjustments kind of come together here. But no, it should be an exciting series and a great kickoff to the 10X Series 5. Like you said, I mean, it is kind of crazy that it's been 5 seasons of this. Almost a year ago, I think, was the first one. And man, it's been up and up since then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so great to see this series grow and grow as time has gone on. And I think that's just really amazing to see in any kind of tournament. It's just fascinating. It's such a joy to be part of, honestly, a great community where we can have these great and really competitive games. But I'm going to jump ahead, though, because we are going to be heading into Ascent as our first map between these two teams. And in fact, they've actually already gone ahead and done all of their map picks, as you can see. So what kind of plays and agents do you think we're going to be seeing in Ascent?
I'm not too sure. I think so. Ascent starting off here, like you said, it's going to be. It could be anywhere. We've seen a lot of meta developments come through on Ascent, right? There's that old standard, of course, with the KO Sova Jets, but a lot of teams have been picking up that double Sentinel from 2024 with that Deadlock Cipher. Teams like Fnatic, Wadada, all of those teams also have been playing this Chamber Vice comp that has been super strong post Tejo nerfs. And then as well, there's the double duelist that approach that you can go. So many different avenues that are available. And this is a very defense sided map. We'll head into Corrode next, which is Prosperity's pick, which is also a pretty defense sided, heavy sided map, excuse me. So I'm really interested to see how, I mean, these teams are going to approach that because I think both of these teams are relatively new as far as the roster construction goes. So on that defense side, it can really kind of start to snowball and get out of hand if that attack side doesn't really have a good set game plan going in to some of these pretty brutal maps when it comes to the defense side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the defense is really going to be quite crucial here. I've seen sometimes in some maps where the defense really is defining everything, and yet sometimes it's not even the deciding factor. You know, teams can be really play some quite strange mix-ups, and how are you going to be going against and defeating those kind of really difficult defenses is really going to be the key in this next map.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they kind of approach this as we head into the agent select here. And so for the side of Prosperity, exit is that double Sentinel, but with the Deadlock in the Cypher, Gracious on that Yoru. And then the other side, it's pretty much that set standard from all the way back 2022. It feels like at this point it's been an eternity. There is that Cypher coming in rather than the Killjoy. So a little bit of different picks there. And on this attack side, it's really going to be down, I think, to this KO, right? Looking over towards Psyduck Enjoyer, really trying to see how they can utilize their abilities to try to kind of deny info as we head off into this first map here, Yafa. Should be a great one. It will be, I believe, Prosperity, like I said, starting off. You're going to need to start with a strong pistol here, set up towards that mid rounds. Looks like a middle punish.
It doesn't seem like it, but they seem they will be running soon as the flank comes out. Gracious getting the kill already. Not able to get that kill, unfortunately. They are able to kill down the Cypher. Players trying to get around now, but you've got one member already on A site planting, and the Cypher is all the way on B, leaving their teammates stranded as 3 teammates are coming on here already to try and take the site. Oh, as the Cypher is able to take one down, putting them now into a 1v2 situation. It's all about the timing of this Cypher now, as they start to try and get this defused now. Cypher nearly appearing. Oh, no!
And it's just gonna be a defuse.
It is! And they're gonna pick the kill up as well, just for like extra points there.
Oh, that's brutal. Way to start off. Great job from the side of, from the attackers there to close that out. Or the defenders. I'm all over the place today. A little bit rusty, just got to shake that off. But a good job on the retake, making sure to speed that one up. They understand that they got to isolate that fight in main, and they get the job done. That's a pistol round garnered here.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent way to set up so far. They're going to be pushing down mid as well. You've got one player posted up close, try and see and gain some information about how the attackers are playing this round so far. And Cypher here all by themselves on B site again, but trying to find what information they can with this Sova. Pushing forward, pushing away that Cypher, but you've got the rest of the attackers here now filing in down through mid, and I don't think they've been spotted yet. They do get killed, but all the time, though, somewhere else is getting killed elsewhere. And unfortunately, it's now a 1v4 situation. This is not looking quite so good for the attackers, unfortunately, as they are trying to pick up the kill, maybe win, but unfortunately, they just really can't. They're just getting sandwiched by 2 different two different players. Wow, I'm making all the mistakes as well now. This is we clearly need a little bit of a warm up. I mean, I hope these players though are far more warmed up than us, because otherwise they're going to be putting themselves in a bad situation for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and that Outlaw was able to be carried over, so Gracious picked up 2 frags in the last round, already 6 points towards that ultimate as we come into the first buy round for Skyline Otters, and 3 of those players will be on that light armor. Decoy. Actually a huge win condition. Actually dropped it back over to Jid and try to go for a bit of a fake clone play here. The camera is set up to be able to re-clear later on, but gets a lot of info early here for the defenders. And that's going to push all the rotates back over to this A site.
Yeah, and now they're going to be executing onto A site already, trying to clear the angles. They find the kill on top. Still the kill, even though they were caught with a knife out. Are able to get the kill. 3K already. Oh, they can't quite get the ace, unfortunately. We're not going to be seeing that, but Angel is going to be coming around while the player is distracted to pick up that kill. First win for the attackers, and I think that was a well-deserved win. Very clean, good execute.
Absolute demolition on that round. Flawless. You can't really ask for better than that. And it's really off the back of Florentina just absolutely going buck wild there and just sending it. And so that's kind of, I mean, through the wall, gets the dink. And so now it'll be a 5v for both of these squads, but knife goes in.
Listening.
It's another fast play here from the attackers, Yafa. Really trying to push them back early.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit of space, but unfortunately, it gets caught out. They are able to back out of that situation, and looking like they're going to be playing it a little bit slow after they discovered that they do have a couple of members posted up so close.
Yeah, and the dash was popped so early there, and the noise indicator was given out to the defense, so now they really have no entry back into the A site without potentially going over towards middle. So Prosperity with this wall as well, they can just kind of sit and linger, but it's going to be short where the pressure is being put, at least for the time being. And the spam from JID just takes down the Sova, and now this round starts to crumble here. They have 45 seconds left. They have to make a play. The trap wire gets exposed, but they're left trying to pick up the pieces here. I don't know what they can do.
I don't know either, but it's all going down quickly now. They have, however, managed to equalize, put themselves in a 3v3 situation. Now trying to execute onto A site. They do pick up the kill, and they are in a strong position. But you still got this one player lurking. I don't know if they're going to spot it. Who's going to get the kill? Oh, who's gracious? Taking the kill, putting themselves in a 3v2 situation. Going to give them an advantage on the retake as the ult comes out to try and scout out point, and they do, finding where the players are, leaving that information, no doubt, and going to be picking up those kills in no time. At least that's what the plan is, but you... They got a different idea. They're taking 2 headshots already, and now you've just posted up on the high ground, on the catwalk, and there's really just nothing you can do. You've got 2 players you can swing together, and they pick up the kill, and it's just a second round win for the attackers.
And an absolutely beautiful mid-round there to break the economy early here on Ascent for Prosperity X. So they won that, and already we can see, I mean, this is going to be a full share of eco. And really that was back, or off the back, excuse me, of the kill over towards short, exposing that. We kind of see the adjustment already, that sound sensor being placed. We will see knives be popped here for Florentia, so we'll get that online and maybe try to avoid dropping over a rifle and having anything snowball out of control here. So this is the round where we really need to see some of these ults be built up. I mean, we're already 3 away from Kayuki's Hunter's Fury, and on the other side, they used that Dimensional Drift last round, so they start losing this eco battle and the ultimate economy battle. This might get a little bit dicey here.
I think things are about to go down here, though, on B side, looking like they're going to be founding a little bit of an entrance, trying to find those kills, but they're all holed up in the backside of B. Information's being told out, and they do pick up the kills. It's now a 2v5 situation. I just don't think there's any way you're going to be winning this, but there isn't really anything to save, I don't think.
No,
I'm
not really.
just
try to go
looking for
damage.
kills.
I guess the most optimal thing would be to try to
One
tight a spike here, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Oh, but brutal there at the end.
Oh, indeed, but the attackers still get the round anyway, be able to trade out. Oh.
Oh man, Yafa, look at the money already. It is out of control. Side up Enjoyer and Angel above 7k credits. On the other side, I mean, this is so crucial for this defense. They need to get something together here, and they do decide to switch up the setup. So the Deadlock will be having those sound sensors over towards the B, kind of an anti-KO ult setup for each of these sites. So a good initial strategy. But how is the rest of it dealt with?
I don't know, I feel like they've left yet another hole in their defenses here as B is empty.
God.
Jid is able to get 2 kills already. Oh. KO does come out here. The attackers, they still have a presence on B. They haven't really been able to put the bomb down yet. The defenders still trying to stay alive with what little foothold they have. trying to work together now to find those kills, try and trade out. Sova ult comes out all the way from the back of sight to delay the team a little bit longer. Isn't able to pick up anyone, but it does stall for time. A great defensive use. The Angel able to pick up the kill onto Kim. 2v2 situation. Still haven't quite secured the win. Oh! Beautiful flick, and that might be just what they need to put themselves in a bad, advantageous situation. They still trade down, though, to a 1v1 in the end. It's all going to come down to this, and oh, gracious. Showing those incredible skills once again, picking up a 3K to defuse the spike, and that is a round win for them. Hopefully putting them back into the game, and maybe putting a tiny little dent in that amazing economy that the attackers have built up.
What the hell was that shot onto Psyduck Enjoyer? I mean, that's just disgusting work, and it really opened the rounds for them. They, I mean, straight out of that clutch, able to get them across the line and give them a little bit of breathing room here, so not even everyone on the rest of their team can buy up here for Prosperity, but still, they pulled out some of those big ultimates, and now pretty close to a few other ults for that side. The knife goes out, only gets one, but Jid taken down early once again. That's no smokes here for the defenders. They have to play retake here. This is going to be brutal.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think it's all that the attackers needed to get an entrance onto the site. Chris here using their ultimate, but unfortunately goes a little bit wide from where everybody seems to be hanging out. Spike has been planted, and all these defenders are sat up on catwalk, and I think they know this. The Cypher is going to be looking for the opportunity for a flank, trying to time it right. But they know it. They've caught on and they pick up the kill. Oh! As all is going down now. 2v2 situation. Trying to pick up a better weapon here. Searching for the remaining players in the shadows. But now it's just one defender left. 4 HP. 2 players can swing. They're going to need headshots. Oh, but they're not able to get the second one. Oh, they were really putting that very, very close. Thankfully, the attackers get the kill. Happens to be looking the other way. But I can't imagine. If they're looking in the right direction, I'm not so sure that they would have been guessing their victory.
Yeah. A bit of a 50-50 there at the end. And this has been a bloodbath of a half so far. So close in every single round. And even though there's only one round separating these two squads at this point, this early A pressure seems to be doing so much for the attackers to be able to get them in to advantageous situations, so they go at it again. You have Gracious bought up with a Sheriff, and it's the strongest weapon on this side. You have some ults and a stack here, but it's going to be heavy lifting needed.
Yeah, as they all execute onto site very quickly. They think there's an opening. I guess that might not have been. In fact, I maybe stand corrected because Florentina is going absolutely popping off with 3Ks already. I mean, you saw them dash into site, not really noticed, able to get those kills where they needed, and now you've got 2 members now of the defenders. There's Cypher and Sova.
I mean, this is just a done round at this point, Yafa.
It is.
A bit tragic there as well. On a Roof committed that annihilation when you only have classics. Definitely was an overcommitment there, so they won't be able to use that in the next rounds. And already, I mean, they won the pistol round, they won the follow-up after that, which is expected, but outside of that, they've only been able to pick up 1 round. Frontier will get the ace. I wasn't even realize they were on for it, but great work nonetheless. Some beautiful adjustments there. But already, I kind of don't want to touch over that too far, but also, I mean, we were talking about how this is a defense-sided map, and this double sentinel comp, they have only gotten 1 round outside of the pistol and the follow-up. It's been 5 in a row. So if you're on the side of Skyline Otters, you have to be feeling so confident right now. You're 2 rounds up in the lead. You have the ultimate economy and the money economy, and there's absolutely nothing that Prosperity has been able to do against this early A main pressure. But this time, they have a bit of a different setup.
I mean, they better as well just hit the A site again. Why not? It's been working for them well the last few times. Oh, and Florentine is able to get a couple of kills as well with their team already emptying the A side of all the defenders. I mean, they can just move on to site freely. They don't know where the deadlock is right now.
Last player standing.
They do now, though. And it's dead, unfortunately, back in spawn room. Cypher remaining. They know they're going to be rotating around from B, but there's just nothing that they're going to be able to do against 3 players. So maybe trying to go for a little bit of a sneaky kill, but I guess somebody is guessing that's going to be the case. They meet. Oh, and Kim wins the duel. I mean, they're still valuable for the defenders. Getting that 1 kill.
Yeah,
They seem to be looking, maybe going for a Hail Mary, but I just don't see how it can possibly work out.
it can't. I think is the answer there. It can't work out. It's a bit brutal to close that one out, but now doubling the amount of rounds that Prosperity X has, and looks like we might be sent into a little bit of a timeout, or tech pause, but actually they joined right back up, so ignore me. But I wouldn't hate to see a timeout here, right? I mean, it's already 3 rounds down. This is an eco, so you need to try to get anything that you can collected here. And even that trap play that was set up by the defenders last round, they have a similar setup here for round number 10, but it wasn't effective last time. The team flash came through, and it's just a walk up and just absolutely unexpected.
I mean, that's crazy. Forrester just walks in there, straight in front of a defender, and still picks up 2 kills off of a shot. That's crazy.
Spike planted.
Kim is on the gallery, picking up 2 kills, not able to get the 3rd. Sovereign is coming out. It's not going to find the 1 player who's alive. And the Sheriff, hopefully hoping for a dream, but gets spotted by Sova and isn't able to pick up the kill. He was waiting there. I mean, it was that or just, get killed by that Cypher who was just coming around any moment.
Yeah, pick your poison there. For on a roof. So, round number 11 here. And this feels like it might be do or die. And Gracious finally, after 11 rounds, able to bring out this operator for the first time on this defensive half. Will be set up over towards mid. But this is really not the issue, right? It's just been Skyline Otters slamming A over and over, and there's been nothing to do.
Oh, they really have just been slamming A over and over again. Here we go, once more, running it down.
I know exactly.
Ultimate coming out. And a res as well. They're now all up onto A side. They're just changing it around. And when you're trying to retake with 2 sentinels, I'm just not sure you're ever going to be in a good situation. Unfortunately. And they've only made it harder for themselves as 1 more player goes down.
Gracious!
Precious! So what is the 2v1 situation now with the server? Now they know where the server is, and it's gonna peek around while the server's looking the wrong direction, expecting someone to come around the other direction, and it's enough. Gracious doing so much work that round, picking up the defuse, using that ultimate to get a surprise as well. It's not often that you see a player pop out of that ultimate to pick up a couple of kills. Usually it's just used for scouting, and I think that's actually quite a beautiful play. But what do you think?
I mean, just a great job there to pop out of the ult. And I mean, I had the shorty in the back pocket, but it didn't matter. And that's the second clutch for Gracious here on this defense side. And just literally the only reason they've been able to get 2 of these rounds secured. And I think it's giving a little bit of false confidence here because once again, it's this A site that really just fell so easily last round, and Gracious had heroics there. Now this time it's going to be a full retake setup, this time again with the operator. Has some kill trips set in place, but finally Skyline Otters maybe opting to reconsider here. See if they can assess their options here in the mid rounds.
Yeah, it's starting to post up mid now as the attackers deciding instead to not go for an A push, but Gracious getting a beautiful kill already straight onto that server there. And they now know where the spike is too. That's helpful information for the defenders. They'll know how they can work around and move around. Kill! Picking up a kill as well. I didn't even notice. All the way onto A side. This is looking good for the defenders once more. They've now able to stop the barrage, seal up that weakness, as the final duel is going to be happening here, no doubt. Cypher goes down. Whew. What do you think?
Flawless to cap off the half. And I'm going to be real. Skyline Otters have been completely in control of this game so far. It has been absolute, just in their hands. But thanks to the heroics of Gracious, who sat at 18-9, a 2.0 KD, not a single other person has more than 7 kills on their team. And just absolutely putting up a masterclass so far. And then that round, a great flawless to close it out. So a bit of cushioning there. And now, I mean, this is very, very doable for this attack side. But on the other side for Skyline Otters, they've looked so clean. And Florencia has been an absolute key part of that. Picking up the Sheriff here.
I must wait a moment.
It's going to be a fast play over towards this B site, Yafa.
It is indeed going to be a quick fight. Already pushing in with these pistols, trying to get a kill, but Florenza, the duelist who's been on fire this entire game, picks up a few kills. It's all going down now as the attackers rotate down the side of B sites. We've still got Psyduck here trying to... Oh! But it doesn't matter as the team work together, picking off those kills, putting it into a 2v1 situation already. The spike is open now. Defenders are now the ones in control. Omen's trying to use their abilities, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to matter. You still got 2 players. You can come in, walk into the smoke. Nice and close to be able to put themselves in that risk as well. Just to really make sure that you get that kill.
Yeah, exactly. A great job from them to attempt something, but a pistol round picked up again, or this time for the side, not again, excuse me, for the side of Skyline Honor, so extending that lead, and instantly that Outlaw being brought out by Florencia, who we kind of saw not really use any of those snipers on the attack side, but very willing to pick it up early here in round number 2. And so Gracious has that Sheriff, but on the other side, you maybe just try to do a little bit of damage. That's the spike.
Spike down,
so,
B.
Good luck, guys.
I mean, yeah, spike is down, like you were saying. And they've got their teammate watching their back as well, making sure that this sniper who's posted up on the spike doesn't get down. But unfortunately, it's not going to matter, as despite the warning and spotting those players, they go down.
One enemy remaining. Spike
But
down,
this
B.
KO has been on a roll, able to kill the rest of the team as they all barrel in, because they know where the spike is and they know where the team was posted up, all from mid. And now Saigo, with that Marshall there, picking up the final kill onto Kim. Kim has actually been a regular on this series. I've seen them quite a few times in some other teams, so it's great to see them once again.
Certainly so. And I like the approach there as well from Skyline Otters, pushing out. They did it as a team, as a collective, and not something you see all the time here on Ascent, but trying to do it to catch them off guard, ensure that round is converted. And so with that Outlaw, the threat of it anyways, you're even going to see Gracious opt for not going for a rifle, will pick up the Guardian instead. And so this is their time. They really need to make a stand here. The Dart goes out, standard A clearance, but this Outlaw is still posted up. It's so dangerous.
Nailed them.
Oh! So the Ivers are going to kill on that close Yori who's pushing up. Unfortunately, they tried out there with Chris, able to get those kills. It's going to be putting the defenders in a bit of a difficult situation. The Omen is now trying to keep that information and make sure that no holes exist in the defenders' lineup there. So no one's going to be squeezing past.
I feel like you have to be feeling good. Go 1 for 1.
Yeah.
So you won't have that entry though. So you have to make something happen. Have to try to go for a split here. And seemingly Skyline is so aware of that. 2 players over towards tree and a full Cypher setup to assist alongside that. And so side pressure here, but Yuto caught out.
Oh, how unfortunate. Oh, Kim is able to pick up a couple more kills now. B-side is clear. They might not know this just yet, but they do know that there's going to be a couple of members rotating. And unfortunately for them, the KO snuck into sight. And he's able to get killed now. The Cypher is just going to be absolutely screwed over. There's a couple of members on site. One posted up on high. There's stairs. Nothing they can really do.
No, not much to do there. As Skyline don't end up getting that bonus converted, but that's okay. That's what you expect typically. at least most of the time here. And a little bit of a tech pause, sadly. So we'll update you as soon as we get any more information coming in through our beautiful little ears. But Yafa, this has been a close match so far. Skyline leading by 3. This is their map pick, and they started on the weaker side here. But, I mean, they are in a prime position here to close this out. And I think they're looking pretty on form so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are looking on form. They have been getting those kills. They've been finding the weaknesses in the defense, and now, well, we're seeing them on the defending side, and they've been doing an excellent job to maneuver around, make sure there aren't any openings in their defense. They have been playing quite aggressively. I mean, it's kind of no surprise when you've got this duelist jet, you know, trying to make use of the jet to find those kills, push out, take that space away from the defenders to be, sorry, the attackers to be quite aggressive and proactive in their defense. And I think that's been really working out quite well for them. It's not the only thing that I've noticed as well in this, because I'll be honest, it's not the first time that I've seen something like this happen where, yeah, this Ascent is a very defender-sided map, but I don't think that's really the story that we've been seeing.
Not at all, and I think talking about the proactivity coming out from Skyline, I think it's really important for them to try to go for some of these more disruptive plays in the mid round, right? You have that KO, but the strength of this double sentinel comp, it is really fantastic on that defense side if realized to its fullest. But on the attack side as well is really where it can find some extra value and assist in these post plants. Once you get on the site, it can be so insanely hard for the retakers to actually have success. And so if they go proactive in these mid rounds, it should be a bit easier for them to maybe catch those players off guard. As we head into rounds number 16 here. Again, early A pressure reminiscent of what Skyline was doing all so often on their attack side. But already, look at this rotates. We have 4 players coming over towards A. The Jet decides to maybe go back over towards A to just do a little bit of a jump spot. But with this drone re-clearing, seeing no one over towards B main, should be enough to keep these rotates here and allow the stack. But re-explorance may provide a bit of difficulty for the defenders.
Yeah, the attackers here poking and prodding to try and see where weaknesses are available. Came here trying to clear slowly over B, but the real action's probably going to be go over A anytime soon, surely. With these team members all posted up now. In fact, I guess I must be wrong. Oh, there we go. Gracious able to find the kill. I think that's just what they needed. Attackers now all rotating, but 2 members are already on site. And Psyduck has now spotted that, relaying that to the team and backing up. They don't want to be dying too early in this defense retake.
Spike planted.
Having all the members that you can have alive on a retake is going to be giving you the maximum advantage that you can, especially in a 4v4 situation. Oh, you are right. And trying to use that to zone out any members to give themselves the better advantage, and it's working. I mean, just look at this. They've got now in a 3v2 situation. You know, Kim on the upside, but unfortunately that diffuse is going to come out because all the defenders had just swamped the site, and now they'd flipped the script again, and incredibly, what you kind of expect in those situations happened. Defenders win.
That's a bit brutal, if I'm being honest.
It is.
I mean, I was about to make note of it, but Chris had that Hunter's Fury in their back pocket, but they popped it so early. The retake hadn't even came through. You want to use it to delay, and the stick on the spike with the smoke was just too much to deal with. And so, again, another fractured by Jid will have a sheriff in hand, everyone else with rifles, but who's next? Kim is able to get one picked up, and the ultimate on the other side from Gracious can clear out this site, so maybe a chance here. And over Zealous from Psyduck Enjoyer, so Yafa, they'll be able to get this, and this is one of the first 5v3s that they've really been able to have all game. Prosperity need to convert this.
They really do need to be able to convert this, and they've been putting themselves in a strong situation overall to be in what's now a 5v2 situation. And unless either of these players are going to be doing something ridiculous like Florentina has been able to do in previous rounds, I just don't think this is going to be happening.
One enemy remaining.
But they're still going to go for it anyway, and unfortunately, 2 kills might be on the cards. Chris has a deciding factor, and they're going to be taking down Angel, who's not their guardian angel this time around, to give them an extra round. But I think they're in a very strong situation overall. Their economy's not looking quite so good, but it's I think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, that's a crucial round as well for them to pick up there for Prosperity, right? They break the economy of Skyline Otters, and if they were able to get that round picked up and win it, they would have money, and the ultimates would be in their favor. You'd probably be seeing all 5 ultimates online, but here the timeout is called from Shampoo, and Prosperity X are finally looking at a little bit of a buffer for themselves coming in to this timeout.
And you know, this isn't the only time that I've seen this. Like, they've gotten a bit of a buffer, sure, but it seems like they've been a little bit shaken. They're a little bit surprised. You know, they were doing so well on their defense, but now all of a sudden on the attack, they've been losing ground steadily over time, and they just lost their economy, and they're going to be trying to have to come with something to bring this back. And I think realistically, they got to be thinking like 2 or 3 rounds into the future of how they play this out. They can't be just trying to make the next round a win. I think you really got to be strategizing. Yeah, next round we lose, but we get a better economy for the future.
And I think speaking to that, hopefully if they get any of these ultimates online, they're not going to invest them here. Keep this one as clean as possible, like you're saying. But I've liked the mid-rounding so far on this attack side. It's really put a lot of pressure on these attackers. But once again, we're going aggressive over towards A. The one-way's popped the dash as well as the knives, but nothing spotted on the other side of it. So space is given up for the time being. And outside the timeout, it's just very patient play from the attackers, playing back, aware of
Throwing net.
early aggression, and it pays off. They'll now try to go and re-explore that A side. There's only 2 players here. This is the weak side of the map.
But I think they might have potentially just missed. Oh, now they catch them, able to get 1 kill
down
with the
A.
knives, but not more than 1. They do spot the spike though, at least. And that's all that they need for the defenders to be rotating around as oh, what a cheeky kill here by Psyduck, able to get 3 kills through a sneaky beaky little play, sneaking through that smoke of the defender, of the attacker, sorry. I think it was all that they needed. So now just 1 member left. It's not the turnout I was expecting, but they have able to do an excellent job with this. But unfortunately, Kim, they have the better weapon, but they weren't able to turn that into a victory there. As despite the great lineup, you're just facing 3 members all at once. There's it's not in your favor.
Heartbreaking there for the side of Prosperity. They a full anti-eco, but Psyduck Enjoyer with disgusting sheriff shots there. A great opener by Florentia as well, but just the calmness in the aim to make sure they're not over flicking over anything, and it gets the job done. And so 11 rounds now in the docket, and this attack side kind of left scrambling. They are able to pick up somewhat of a buy here, but again, Yafa, it's scrappy. It's all over the place. You have 3 players with rifles. Chris on a stinger, on a roof with that sheriff. Florentia playing spoiler.
Oh my! And another ace of the card for Florentina, who just walks out mid, thanks to the teammate getting the flash on all of them. And that was just this Omen who's posted up on A, and they don't have spy. There's really nothing that they can do. Walking out with the knives.
Oh,
no. Here, they are being patient. They the knife kill. Check your angles, and unfortunately, Psyduck Enjoyer is the victor. And once again, how are they doing this? Right, it's like they're wearing camouflage, like John Cena, again and again. Are we going to see more of this? I don't know.
I don't understand it. And I mean, that wasn't even a full eco, right? I mean,
no.
Did that, but it was again off the back of some beautiful adjustments of the aim, but also Psyduck Enjoyer has had insane util, is going to set up for another flash play here early on.
This is a very aggressive by Florentina. Gets punished for it, unfortunately, but they're still going to get so much value here for the defenders. They've once again been playing incredibly proactive, and it has been paying off for them. Getting those amazing, beautiful kills. Yeah. But unfortunately, this is kind of do or die now. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out for them. You've got two attackers.
A bit of a blunder there on the jump spot, and so maybe an opportunity.
Using that Cypher ult. I think this is the first time we've seen this Cypher ult used at all, and they're going to let them know where all the players are as they back up now, trying to keep posted, but they know that they can just hold that angle.
Defenders win.
You're going to be looking for those kills, unfortunately. You're going to be trying to get that spike, but it was a defeat in the end. They knew that it was so close, and they had to do something. They tried something, and unfortunately, the play was not there. Oh, Skyline Otters doing an excellent job there. Wow.
And I know this is the map pick of Skyline Otters, so you expect them to come out on top here, but oh my god, what an insane display from them. And Florentia had 11 first bloods out of 20 rounds. Is that not insane? 11 first bloods, 20 rounds, and just putting an absolute clinic on. And all the time we were seeing them push out on the defense, have little flash pop plays with the KO as well coming in. I mean, we saw the ace in round number 19, or the 4K, excuse me, where the flash comes from tree and then the peak comes through. Just absolutely great performance from them. The 1-2 punch of the flash initiator and the jet was just too much to deal with. And Skyline Otters is looking like such a good team, and I mean, if they keep up this performance and they have the same amount of game plans, set strats like that last rounds in Corrode, I think this one's going to be a done deal.
You think so? I mean, I suppose so, right? They've been just playing so dominantly recently on this map, and like you were saying, with how they've been playing, it's been impressive. It's, you know, just, I mean, what else can I say? Florentina's been having an absolute roll with that hero, trying to get the absolute maximum out of it, and they absolutely sure have. I mean, getting that ace, getting that 4K, being as aggressive as they were, like you were saying, they were just able to flip the script on Ascent, which is typically a very defender-sided map, and they were able to, you know, build up a lead when they were the ones on offensive, and they were just able to find those weaknesses in the defense, even against that double Sentinel defense. The Sentinels, they were just always posted up on B, and there was just an opening on A or mid, and they just exploited. They drove a wedge into it, and they just come out on top. But it is somebody else's map pick next, and I wonder if the scripts will flip on this next map.
Yeah, we'll have to see for sure to see if, I mean, this Prosperity team can pick it up on their map pick of Corrode. If Gracious can get a little bit of help here in map number 2. But before that, Yafa, I believe we are going to throw it to a short little break, and then we'll be right back with map number 2. You're not going to want to go anywhere.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and hey. All I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread, ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, if it ain't got style,
Hello and welcome back. We've just finished the first round of this series between these two teams, and I'm very sorry to have spent that time just, cooling off as a cupcake, as you do when you just come out fresh from the oven. But those were some amazing strats that were being cooked up the last round. But we don't really get to talk too much about Prosperity and the kind of strategies that they were doing and how they could cook up a killer strategy on the next map.
Yeah, and I think coming into their second map pick of Corrode after facing that 7-13 loss on Skyline's map pick of Ascent, I think they really are going to have to come in here with some big ideas and show us what they have been cooking up. Because, I mean, we got to see Gracious really pop off there on Ascent. I believe it was 22 and 11, something around there for their final scoreline, but absolutely a clinic they were putting on. But other than that, it was really just the Gracious show, right? There wasn't much assistance. You had Jid coming in, sometimes Kim as well. But other than that, we didn't really see those individual performances come out to show. So on Corrode here, I want to see more of that. And especially on this attack side where they will be starting, I'm really going to be looking at how they kind of work the map and kind of go for some of those splits, right? Ascent and Corrode are very, very similar maps. The rotations maybe a bit longer for Corrode, but here I think it's going to be very interesting to see, especially depending on what type of comps these teams come out with, because there's so many different directions that we've seen teams go on this map. But I'm so excited, Yafa, to get into this one. This is going to be the first map of Corrode that we've seen, I believe, in all of Tenax series. So should be a banger to start us off and potentially close us out for the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Crowd is one of the, in fact, I think it is the newest map that has been
Yep.
added into Valorant. And I think teams have had enough time to at least get a good understanding of the map, its geometry, how to play it. I mean, I think that really is kind of clear in the sort of heroes that they've been chosen, they're chosen to pick out for us today. And we're seeing kind of a bit of a similar sort of composition as we were seeing last time, except this time it looks like Skyline are going to be going for the double Sentinel composition this time instead of Prosperity, who I believe were the ones who had been running the double Sentinel on the
Yep.
previous map.
And so not actually going for the Vise here, rather going for that Deadlock and leaning into that. But we see a lot of chamber here, especially over towards VCT. You can get up, set up on deep lines, have a lot of success, and that's where all the pressure is going to be early here for this first pistol.
Already starting off strong as well in this pistol, trying to find those openings. They are able to get a good couple of kills, but Chamber, the sight angle here of the Sentinel, is able to pick up a kill. Will they be able to pick up any more? It doesn't seem like they will. Kim is able to get the pick as they pile onto sight. Not to be forgotten, though, is the rest of the defenders chasing them onwards. Sidehook is able to get yet another kill again.
Last
Incredibly
player
powerful as they
standing.
try to pincer the remaining attackers. But now it's just a 1v2 situation with the attackers coming out on top, getting that spike plant. I hope. Or maybe not. Maybe going for a
tap.
rotate instead.
Yeah, go all the way, make a pilgrimage over towards the B site. Because they'll be able to get this down. They'll have one smoke left. The sound sensor over towards Cubby to potentially put a little bit of a hindrance in this, especially if they're not aware of it, if they don't clear. And Angel is left in 1v2, has a lot to do here.
Angel has done a
possible.
great. Oh, sorry, the Angel has done a great job in the last map as well. We saw them pop off, able to get those kills, but they're playing it incredibly slow, trying to find those angles, look around, check where they might be.
Throwing net.
Cautious of upstairs the tower. I think they're rightfully able to be so. Getting trapped there as well. But I just don't think it's going to be enough because unfortunately Jed is all the way around the corner and they had so much time as well with that defuse on the spike that they could really take their time and there wasn't really any concern.
Yeah, so many angles to watch out for there on the B site, especially in that post-plant position. So the second pistol rounds for Prosperity X able to be picked up here. And this composition is interesting, right? We see, I mean, NRG, right, over in VCT play it, but they actually play the Waylay rather than the Neon, but the double controller, double initiator really allows you to go for a lot of aggressive plays while still having some more of that mid-range detail. Again, keeping it up from Ascent here is this aggressiveness on the defense side from Skyline Otters. This time they're pushed back a little bit, so just some util traded back and forth. The orb gains as well. And Cake Muncher is going to go walkabouts towards mid, and I'm just wondering how far do they get before they're noticed?
Being able to get very deep, which is not surprising, I suppose, but Skyline again playing very aggressively. Not spotted yet, playing very sneaky, just like the counterpart. But unfortunately, Gracious going to pick the angle, checks the angle. You're not going to be seeing any repeats of those knife kills that we saw in Ascent.
No.
But I think that's all that they needed, the information, and it looks like somebody might have taken a bit of the bait. They hear the sounds now coming out. It's clear there's a B execute here for Skyline. Taking these angles, taking all these... Yeah. And are able to get the look at those going up to tower, able to secure an even stronger position on this B site, now turning it into a 2v4 situation already. And you've got Fletchers, who has indeed popped off before, but unfortunately Gracious is the one to do it this time around. A 1v4 situation is kind of unwinnable. You might have a chamber, you might be playing it because you have good aim, but unfortunately Kim comes around and gets the headshots. He's the better one this time around. And there's another round secured for the attackers. They've been started off pretty strong so far for Prosperity.
Yeah, and they only actually bought one rifle into that round. It was 2 Stingers, a Vandal, and then 2 Ghosts. So a very light investment there in round number 2. And typically when you see that, you see those players with the Ghost actually buy a rifle into round number 3. That's the whole purpose of that, so then you can have a stronger bonus rounds and try to really have some more weapons to fight back, but they actually don't opt for that. They only pick up 1 more rifle here. And they go for another pop flash play to take early space over towards A main. They'll pick up that orb for Gracious. 2 away now from that overdrive, but look at this. Again, another aggressive push from Cake Muncher as well to just feed all this info.
Absolutely, they're going to know where they're not, so that's going to tell them where they are. And that's all that they need to swamp down and get those kills. Absolute savagery as all the members go down. Neon pushing out on the Florina, but it's unfortunately more than enough for Chris to go down there.
I belong here. We go.
And Skyline, again, continues from Ascent on their defense to have these setups where they can just set up the Sentinel util, push out on those extremities, right? You have the deep wall from the Deadlock as well as Cake Muncher pushing down towards mid, and then you could set up 3 players over towards B, and I mean, I'm sorry, going 4 players through the B main choke point and not really doing anything else for the rest of the round, it's not going to work out for you. It might work once or twice, but it's not a consistent strategy. And we see another early play here, this time just to get that orb. And hopefully, I think, yeah, we're going to see a bit more of that mid exploration, wary of what could be. As if they go back over towards A, go for some of this explorers. But as I say that, actually the defense pushing up.
They're being aggressive once again, able to try and take all this space, and they're rewarded for this aggression. Kim goes down, telling them all the information that they could realistically need. Tell them that there's 2 members down there.
They get out with their lives.
Gonna have a good inkling. What's going to be coming out next? There's more team members pushed down, going further back. Each time, trying to force them out, but each time you're giving them information that, hey, we're coming A. And it's going to be given the time for the defense to set up. And I guess they've decided that maybe it's just not the best idea to be going A. But you see this Chamber's already marked themselves up onto mid. Not able to get the kill, but is able to give plenty of information. They're rotating round. They're going mid. There's a Neon rushing down now as well. But Jid is able to get those kills. Unfortunately, the Sentinel's not able to hold the space, not even able to get a kill either to give the defenders an advantage on a retake.
Take this.
As now the attackers have been able to take some time, get set up onto B site. They know where the defenders are coming from. They know they're coming from mid. Hear all this noise coming through. It's all in the defender's favor right here. They still have the spike up.
It's just a save, though.
Hmm.
The smoke goes up. They send out the fragment grenade as well, and Skyline realized that they just don't have an opening back into this round. They can't force themselves through that choke point, and what started as a great opener from that early aggression kind of just falls apart.
I'll find you.
They were able, or Prosperity X, excuse me, were able to pull all of those rotates there, so it was Kayuki and Psyduck kind of left scrambling, reeling back towards that B site, and they just were caught with their pants down, and that's
I'm
a
outta
done
here.
deal. So a third round picked up. So far, Prosperity X are looking nice in these more chaotic positions where you may not think they're in the
Anyone have
advantageous
funds to spare?
spot, but man, do they like
Thank
to prove you
Here.
wrong.
Yeah, so far this has been going in the favor of Skyline, who were... Sorry. My apologies. Well, let's, anyway, we better rephrase and reframe as more aggression is coming out from the defenders here, going deep into mid once again, taking up some of that space.
Cover going out.
But they haven't been able to clear out B. They don't know where they are just yet, as all the util is coming out. But you still got one player playing sneaky beaky. Ah, they get the kill. It's a crit. Just what they need. Spike is down. Know where they are. Now it's just a time about rotating quickly. Defenders are able to regroup and recuperate, but unfortunately they're about to get sandwiched here by a couple of players from the defenders. They are able to take down Angel, who's deadlock. Sentinel on the
I'm
site.
out of here.
Spike planted.
Somehow able to get this site as well, A site, getting set up, and the Neon and the Chamber, they're coming around, they're playing aggressively. Their two members are posted up here already, trying to check for anyone coming through. And they are able to find the information, but they're already on A sites.
One enemy remaining.
Florentine is able to get a couple of kills. Now just one member left for the attackers. It's not looking good. Defuse coming out, and that is that round win for the defense. The beautiful retake there, and honestly, I think that kill in mid was all that they needed to give themselves just a little bit of advantage, and they really played to that really well.
I need a replay on that because it was just an absolute dismantling.
Oh,
You had the
absolutely.
double high-low over towards CT, but other than that, every duel went on at the exact same time. And Skyline Otters just won them all out there, turning that 4v3 instantly into a 3v1 and converting that round. They continue to just be flipped on their head.
Where
You really
are
can't expect
they?
what's coming next. Speaking of not expecting what's coming next, you have a Chamber on your team. I guess who's holding the operator this time? It's Angel with that glass cannon over towards A. And this is the first round we're really seeing exploration early from the attackers over towards middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not the first time they did it. They did it last time as well.
What?
But unfortunately, it didn't work out well for them. Chamber is able to get a kill already, nice and early, but not without trading out with one of the attackers. Defenders, sorry.
Not sure about running back with your knife out, but to each their own, I suppose. And I mean, Angel is set up in this position, but it's just a one and done. So they don't have the ability to reposition themselves. And it's going to be a split coming in. Gracious sliding through this as once this smoke goes down over towards A main. But Florentia on the flank might be the linchpin for this defense.
Face your fear.
Absolutely. I mean, it's pretty typical for them to be playing so aggressively. I don't think they're going to be expecting this flank here from Florentina. Just look at this, trying to play shooting gallery, but is unable to convert that into some free kills there. I think that's going to put them in a bit of a disadvantage. They're aware now they could be from behind. Angel picks up another one. I think that's just game over with the rest of the defenders posting up there. They weren't able to quite make use of the split, but it was enough to get the victory there.
Yeah, to get it done in the end. And Skyline, I mean, the operator doesn't matter if it's in an untradeable position. If you get that kill, there's no one to really follow up, especially with how separated they were, right? The swing came through so much sooner from, from Gracious than the rest of the team was ready for. And so I feel like maybe that's a bit of Gracious trying to go for that hero play, not necessarily thinking to wait for their team or maybe a breakdown in communication. I'm not 100% sure. We are gonna have to send it to a short tech pause, sadly, but I think that gives us a little bit of time, Yafa, to talk about this, because it's a tied game now, 3-3. Last game we saw a pretty similar start, right? There was the pistol round gained by Prosperity X. They were able to pick up one outside of that, but other than that, it was really Skyline with the first half in their control when it came to these rifle rounds, and it's seeming to go that way again. I'm not sure what they need to do differently, but for this attack side, but it seems to just kind of be a little everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment that you've made of the situation. You know, Prosperity, they have won the pistol round again, but unfortunately, even though often people talk about how, the pistol round, winning that gives you a couple of extra rounds, Skyline have just been doing an excellent job with how they've been playing. I mean, they've been playing so well with their aggression. They've been able to get those kills, those victories where they needed to, and I just don't think that Prosperity will be doing the best with how they've been playing this. I feel like they just can't keep getting caught out. They keep, having slight holes in their defense, in their formations, how they've been playing around with the map and space, and maybe that's the cause. But maybe I'm misunderstanding. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's not being able to be quite so deliberate as Skyline are being on the defense here, and that might be all the difference might be. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Coming into this as well, right? I mean, this is a defense-sided map, like we said. A double Sentinel setup as well is pretty difficult to break through. But we're again seeing Skyline go for some of these more aggressive plays in the mid round, right? Florencia flanking through, pushing all the way through the attacker spawn, to catch Prosperity off guard. Really, again, it's just disrupting this attack side setup continually, and whether it be pushing through mid, it feels like there's always somewhere where Skyline is trying to take. If they give up a portion of the map, they're making sure to take another. So it's that give and take, that push and pull. But now this is the first, I believe, eco for the side of Prosperity X coming outside of this tech pause, and it's actually going to be a force. So I'm not 100% convinced by this, to be honest, but if you look at it, On a Roof has that null commands as well. I mean, if you can get on the site and then get that Viper's Pit down, it would be huge to be able to convert this round and disrupt the economy.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption to make there. If you are going to be using those ultimates, you could use them to try and get the edge in your fights, especially if you're able to take fights so convincingly as they have already. You pop down that Viper ult, like you were saying, taking that space already, blocking that off. Now you've really put the pressure onto them. And as it happens, 4 of those members are over there, but it's not going to matter. Chambers still gets a kill anyway. As the defenders now push into Viper's area, Viper's just going to be able to, mow them down now with the help of the Neon. But they still manage to find themselves in a 2v2 situation. Even when these defenders are having to push through into the Viper's area. But it just wasn't enough though. Kim is able to maximize the use of that Viper's area and just control it, command it. Viper, Kim owned that area, took those kills, and like you were saying, making use of, they didn't even have to make use of null command, but the Viper ult themselves, they're just going to fight for free, use that ultimate, there you go, they won the fight.
And it's a little interesting, right? You typically don't see the Deadlock have this operator, especially, I mean, there you had the Tour de Force, but you don't have the Deadlock play this because you want to be playing off your sound sensors, right? You want to be playing a reactive type of style. You can fight off your utility, and this is an aggressive push, not expected for both sides.
But unfortunately, somebody is coming out far, far better with 3 kills to their name. And that's already going to be putting them in such an amazing position. trying to play sneaky, trying to get on an off angle here. Florentina is able to pick up yet another kill, and now it's just a 1v5 situation. Kim has been certainly playing amazingly, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to win this 1v5. Oh, Florentina taking out them, giving them yet another scoreline that is equal 4-4 once again.
Yeah, and an instant response, like you said, and Skyline Otters here, they do a great job of going for a trap play early on. There's been consistent early conditioning over towards and defaulting over towards A main from Prosperity X to try to farm up some of those orbs, and so based on that read, you actually see the punish come through, and it just is absolutely flawless execution. But once again, they won round number 7 by going early and aggro over towards A, and this time they're doing the same idea. Gracious is the only one with a gun here.
No escape.
Angel's gonna have to play retake. That's what it's looking like. But already you have 4 players rotated, Yafa. They're here so early.
I know, they just heard it coming. All the information was right there for them. But I think the attackers here, they're going to know that they're up. It's a bit of a difficult situation. They're going to go for a rotate, but Florentina is posted up on the exit, and they are going to know whether they've gone for the exit or not. Turns around at the wrong time. But they're still going to catch them anyway. Jid and
Spike down mid.
Chris goes down. Kim trying to equalize. Put themselves in a 3v3 situation now. I think
They split up.
They
They're
have.
split up.
I guess they're not sure where they're going. I thought they plainly thought there was going to be an A take, but I guess that rotating around threw them off. Maybe they're thinking that they were playing tricky games, and I suppose that's the right way to be playing to try and get these victories. But now it's a 1v2 situation, sorry, 1v3
30 seconds
situation.
left.
Gracious, we've seen them
Look.
clutch big before.
You this way.
That first, not looking the way. This would be huge. Oh,
Throwing next.
Angel knew where they were. They just had no escape, really. I mean, they really tried their players, playing around those angles, trying to find the right places, and they caught them off guard, looking at the wrong place, expecting them from the wrong location. And that little off angle was all that they needed, but unfortunately, somebody had their back, and they were able to get that kill. But look at this economy right now. What kind of weapons do you think this is? Like, how is this going to play out?
I'm not too sure. I mean, this round, it looks like we'll be going for a little bit of a default here, changing up this Viper wall to fight a bit more for mid space, but there's no early spam. We haven't really seen any Odin or anything, but it's a fast play, actually, with this overdrive. The spikes, I mean, slow to follow here.
It's all going down now in mid, now piling out into A. On a roof now, trying to find a couple of kills. Isn't able to, but he's able to strike 3 members. The 3 members trying maybe go for a little bit of a goose chase, give up, now heading back onto A site. And they are trying to maybe find a kill on the aggressive players, who are now all on A site. It's all going down, all in the favor now.
Spike down A.
Skyline winning that. Sorry, Prosperity, my bad, winning that round there. I think that was well played by Prosperity. I mean, how do you think they won that?
Just sort of devolved into chaos there, but putting a lot of pressure. That's what we want to see right on this attack. If you look at the success rates of splits versus just trying to brute force your way through a site, it's really not looking good for that type of strategy. So you want to be going for some of these splits. You want to be fighting for mid. It's so similar to Ascent, where these like connector areas are important for your attackers. So again, switching this wall gives a little bit more flexibility to try to fight this space here. Psyduck and Jordan took a timing through that wall. It gets away with it.
Oh, but they are going to be using their ultimate already. And I think that's going to be more than enough that they need. On a roof, able to pick up a kill, but Gracious goes down. A player who we've seen get multiple clutches so far, but unfortunately, this round is not going to be theirs as they head back, waiting for the next round. 1v2 situation though, so it's still on the cards for Prosperity to get this victory. Chris trying to play slowly, being quiet here, not sure where they are going to be coming from. But hopefully they are able to look at the right direction and spot them. The timing for this chamber, the spotting Chris was just ever so slightly off, but they're still on the case, on their heels. And it's only a matter of time before this chamber spots them, no doubts.
I think Angel gets on this line first, and there it is, the headshot to clean it up here, Yafa. And this has been such a close
Last
affair so
round
far.
in the
But,
half.
I mean, the disrespect and the aggressiveness coming out from Skyline continues to push them over the line, and really is that determining factor in so many of these rounds where they're picking it up.
Yeah, it really has been quite a determining factor, but how do you think Prosperity are going to be winning this round? They've got a couple of rifles to their name, a couple of ultimates, which is more than can be said for Skyline right now.
But look at the positioning of the defense, right? Again, the operator in the hands of Angel. It goes for the peek, and you get punished for that one. So no Sentinel util now, and 2 ultimates still in the back pocket. The Null Command and the Nightfall, and I somehow gets away with the life, but here they come.
Pushing in through A. But there's a chamber on the heels, giving them a little bit of a timer. Ultimate comes out. I'm trying to find a kill but with the shotty, but unfortunately Kim is able to get that kill onto Florentina. It's a 4v1 situation after Chaos. It goes in the favor of Prosperity, and now with the AWP in hand, Kim picks up that kill. I mean, I wonder where they got that operator
Switching
from.
sides.
I mean, picking it up out of Angel's hands, and a 6-6 half here on Corrode. This is, again, Prosperity X's own map pick, so where they're comfortable playing the most. And on this defense side, we're going to really get to see this Viper, I think, come out. And a lot of that early util, especially over towards mid. I don't think that Viper was supposed to go there, but I think this pistol really might determine how this map goes. But it's an early fight from the defense. It looks like the knife to get contact, but it just spots one.
Gracious already able to get the kill, playing aggressively, the same way that we saw Skyline in the previous map play. Oh, but Chris isn't able to catch the timing and doesn't really know that they've gone through. And unfortunately for Kim, he's going to get picked off already. Chris is looking around. The teammates trying to come in, but Chris might be playing maybe a little bit too aggressively here. The rest of the teammates are not around, trying to go for a kill, but unfortunately Psyduck is able to get that kill first. 3v4 situation already, as they're all piling in from one location. It might be just enough to get this kill. They do able to get isolated down now. It's a 2v2 situation. 2 of them are, and they do have this tower as well for the advantage. Try and get a better sight line. Jumping on to the top. They know where they are, surely. Going for the kill. He's able to get one, but doesn't notice the other!
Clutch.
Oh!
I'm out of here.
Florentina getting those kills! Winning, clutching up, giving the team, yet another win here for Skyline. But it's not looking quite so good. Oh, that looked like he was in Prosperity's. They could have won. It was so close.
In their hands. Yafa, I hate to be that guy, but that was a team one-way. I'm pretty sure Jid threw the smoke on top of Hut, and it one-wayed on a roof. And you couldn't swing out properly to trade. That's... Oh, what a blunder. That is heartbreaking. This defense side. They go for a similar start here, but... They need to reset and get back into this one, but they're being ran down by these Stingers. But look at that, 2 eco kills picked up.
Yeah, already. I mean, Florentina's trying to turn this around here. Well, Skyline starting to play a little bit slow after that absolute rush of adrenaline that these teams had at the very start, picking up the kills that they needed. But there's still a 3v3 situation as they start to try and play around, see where they can go. The spike has already been planted. Psyduck off the tower knows where they are. Trying to play, but he isn't able to catch anyone out. As Florentina does. Not to help with Cake Muncher. 1v1 situation though, as On a Roof is on a roll. Able to pick up those 2 kills, but is looking the wrong way. Skatemanship picks the other side and shoots them in the back of the head, picking up another round victory there for Skyline.
Yeah, sadly can't get it done, but a great eco round, if we're being honest. Doing quite a lot of damage to the economy, but as I say that, doesn't really matter, as 4 players on the side of on the side of Skyline will be able to buy up here. Psyduck Enjoyer with that stinger, but notably, so close already towards that Nightfall. So on this attack side, they throw that smoke out early, and On a Roof actually going walkabouts down mid, set up in this position. You had the flash out into hands, tempted to throw that one out, but as we see, it's going to be a re-exploration. The Outlaw shot misses, and so now the acceleration is going to come through.
It is, as the team barrels in, but Chris is on the sideline, takes up a kill, trying to slow that down just a little bit longer. He's able to get another kill there onto Skyline, Kigmuncher, sorry.
Last player standing.
2v1, 3v1, 0v3. Winner for the defenders at long last after a disastrous couple of rounds for them. But they are able to do that, and they now have a couple of ults to their name, but so do Skyline. How do you think this is going to go down?
Not too sure, but I mean, it's an eco round, so I'm not super, I don't have a lot of hopes for Skyline, but we have seen them do ridiculous things in the past. I mean, Psyduck Enjoyer hit that 3K in the Sit A main last map, but I'm really looking forward to continue to see how do these teams deal with early control. Gracious sending it early here with that overdrive. Won't have a gun in the back pocket, and so
Face your
trades
fear!
all around, and this is just devolved.
No escape.
It really has just evolved into chaos, but thankfully for Prosperity, I mean, they haven't placed the spike down just yet, so they still have time to try and make their moves. Unfortunately, Gracious is going to trade out with
Last player
Psyduck.
standing. Spike down A.
But Kim and the team are able to get the remaining players down. Now Angel just left all by themselves with Deadlock, with no spike planted. They don't have that ability to just wait it out and play around the spike. Now they're going to have to play for the kills. They've got to push these angles if they want to win. And
they have
what do
45
you really
seconds
have
left.
to save? I don't know.
I mean, they can pick up a gun if they
A
go
rifle?
over towards Link, yeah, but not gonna opt for it. Isolating this duel.
30 seconds left.
And that's crucial, but they do have the supports are coming back in to try and help them trade out should they need it. But it's not going to matter. Angel is now in a 1v1. All for marbles, but unfortunately Kim is getting that 3k Pixel Angel. And they are able to get those isolated kills there. Unfortunately, the double swing does not come out, and not able to get those kills there. But it doesn't matter. In the end, I suppose they got a little bit lucky. Timeout is called, though, and I think this is a good idea.
Yeah, so timeout called here. The score is tied 8-8. So finally able to claim that title back, but that was such a close round. Only one player surviving there in the ends, and so it did a lot of damage to the economy of Prosperity X. And so Coach Shampoo wanting to come in here because they have a lot of ultimates, right? They have this Annihilation, one away from that overdrive, and if they lose this round, it could really snowball out of control depending on how this defense wants to approach this. So I'm going to be looking for them to continue this early aggression and maybe try to exploit these places over towards mid, or the fact that there's actually no hard sentinel for Prosperity X on this defense. So the Neon can have those quick rotates, sure, but you actually don't have any hard information consistently throughout the map, so you have to rely on that. And if you can get an early pick here and kind of play a bit slower rather than going for some of these pacey plays, they might be able to find an opening here on this attack.
Perhaps so. I mean, these teams have been looking like they've been in a bit of a stalemate. They keep taking rounds off of each other, piece by piece. And really, it's going to matter on who's going to be able to make that a little bit of a breakaway Don't know how well they're going to be able to search for that information, though, as you were mentioning. All these teams playing slowly now, trying to not give that information away as to what's going on, who's going where, trying to make the noise, trying to maybe try a little bit of misdirection, go for some spam through the wall. I mean, you can see that somebody's already low, and they are going to go down eventually. But look at this play by on the rim. He's able to get 2 already. It's going to put themselves in a 3v2 situation. So not the best, but they did make a beautiful play, and hopefully it's going to be enough to get them a little bit of a victory. But oh, never mind. As they rush down that operator player, and it's going to put themselves in a 1v3. Oh, I don't think this is going to be good, unfortunately, for them. I mean, what do they have to play, though? What do they have to save? I'm not sure.
No, I mean, they got bailed out a little bit there, and so I think Kim left on the flank, maybe try to go for this. I wouldn't hate to see them save it, as they won't have a bye into the next round, and they can use this time just to discuss with their team what went wrong there, right? They seem to have the perfect read into that setup. They had 3 players positioned over towards mid to crunch and just collapse on anyone making a play to push through the choke into top mid or in to that link, but just fell apart after, I believe it was the Prowler from Chris, and it gave away the positioning. And so
Throwing net.
maybe it was just waiting a little bit longer, allowing the fights to come to them rather than trying to disrupt their crossfire. And with that being said, you didn't even have to see any of those ultimates be invested from either side. So the consolation kill for Kim there towards the end, one closer towards that Viper's Pit of their own. But the lead is taken back for Skyline, excuse me. And so now coming into rounds number 18, they're just going to be going for a fast play and try to overwhelm some of this site. And I mean, if you look at the minimap right now, who's home on the B side? Absolutely no one.
Unfortunately, there's only one player there on the B side.
Not even on, sitting in heaven.
All the way up in the tower. I might have heard something, but you see some classic aggression already from the defenders. Find where they are. They're hunting them down. They've got all of this map control. They know they're on B, and now this Viper is gonna be heading off. To let their team come in, and they're gonna be working together on a team because it's now a 5v5 retake. And we haven't seen this yet from either of these teams in this match. As the ultimates come out now, trying to give themselves an advantage, lock away any weapons that they might have to give themselves a better rifle advantage. But unfortunately, someone's going to be coming around on their flank, picking up a couple of kills. He's gracious. 2 members left. Chaos is the one of the ultimate, but unfortunately, he's not going to check those angles as they do a little bit of a dance. Cake Pusher is able to survive, but not for much longer.
There's no time. Do they have it?
I think they might.
Okay.
I think they probably will.
Yes.
I think they probably will have it. Barely.
Oh my.
Coming down to the wire. Ooh.
Who would smother first?
And like you said, I mean, that 5v5 retake, don't think we've seen one of those before. But it ends up working out for the side of Prosperity X. They invest both the Null Command and the Nightfall, and it's just too much to deal with over towards the B site. Not enough positions to lock down, and so tie this one back up, and they're going to try their hand at it once again for the side of Skyline. They say,
You want to
okay,
play?
we got that
Let's
site
play.
pretty easy. They don't have these big ultimates to
Face
try to
your
refight
fear.
back into us. And so we invest the Nightfall, get this site. I'm interested to see what's the difference in this post-plant setup, but Kim going aggressive. Gets 1, gets 2. Gets taken down at the attempt of the 3rd, but already doing so much damage here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really impacted their post-plan play here. But
What
it's
is
not going to
that?
match. What? Absolutely crazy. And now this Chamber's going to come in and get the kill with their ultimate. And that's all they really need to pick up the win there. Putting themselves in the advantage. Skyline. Oh, I didn't think that was going to go down in that way after that play from Kim there.
Yeah, bit of a heartbreaker. I mean, the spray down doing so much damage there from Angel, and really securing that one. And so the first team to get double digits here, finish line seems to be in sight. As Viper's Pit invested early over towards B main, but Chris takes down Cake Muncher off an early peek over towards A main. So there's no smokes now for the attack side. They decide they need to try to make a play to go aggressive somewhere. Put off for the time being, but look at Angel already making their way through spawn. This is so early on this flank.
Yeah, I mean, look at these defenders. It's almost like they've pushed out just a little bit too far, trying to find that information. They hear some utility going down. Maybe they might be looking around for something.
God.
Oh, the roof gets another kill!
I'm out of here. Shocking.
Maybe this is all that they need. They've been able to take up this mid position. They're still on A. You've still got a couple of attackers, though, rotating around through defender spawn. Angel able to get the kill onto
Bye-bye. My ult's ready.
on a roof. I just don't think it's going to quite be enough here.
Spike
Unfortunately,
down
as
A.
Gracious is picking up those kills, and the spike hasn't been planted. 30 seconds remaining to get a 4K here for Florentina, but it's on the cards. They've been
30
playing
seconds
amazingly before. This Neon is a strong character as well. You've got some great agility, repositioning, but they just know where you are. There's just only so much you can do. Unless you make some kind of crazy play, I just don't think it's going to be happening. You never know. There we go. Chris shooting them through the smoke, predicting exactly where they're going to be, getting the kill, securing that victory, equalizing yet again these two teams. It's not quite the same as what we were seeing before in Ascent, but this time, those win conditions from Prosperity X, they are playing them well, and they are getting those victories, those round wins, and this is what we need to be seeing.
It's not only a close game, but it's back and forth, right? No team has been able to streak together more than 2 rounds in a row. So it has just been an absolute brawl for the lead here. And so, I mean, right off the back, again, it's the same setup, or similar setup, excuse me, this 1-4 on the rifle rounds. It's very interesting on the against the Ecos. Prosperity opt to play this retake style over towards B. It worked well for them once. But if they can get this site and make it not into a 5v5, they're just contacting all the way up. And Kim, I'm not sure that they're aware of the pressure that's going to come from site here in just a second. Caught out with util in hand, and there it goes. That's a rifle to pick up here, Yafa.
It is
Angel,
indeed.
another one.
This isn't looking quite so good now for Prosperity X anymore. I lost a couple of their rifles. Angel is able to get a couple with this Guardian. And now you're in a 1v5 situation as Chaos, and I don't think you're going to be seeing much. Oh, but Honor is able to pick up a kill already. Able to know where they are, but they're just probably going to get spammed through this wall now. You know where the rest of the players are. Oh, sorry, the rest of the players know where you are. And going to be going down. Unfortunately, not able to make a hero play there. I mean,
Go, go, go.
I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure where one down. Can you break it down for me?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was off the contact play. They did the 1-4 setup that worked well for them in the past. That is Prosperity on the defense. But this time, the opening towards mid was exploited. There was no one there, so the contact push just caught Kim off guard. And then after that, that just last layer from Angel over towards mid, really the final knife in the back. And so another eco being picked up for the attackers. Skyline Otters so consistent in this field, and once again another 3-player setup over towards mid. The Prowler spots someone out, and this time
Oh, Jade is able to peek around that corner, get the kill onto Cake Muncher, put themselves in a good advantage, but unfortunately, they did already lose one of their players. But there's one player here, hooked up an A, and they're gonna get themselves 2 kills. Whoa! That is great. But Chamber is all by themselves. And they're in mid.
Still waiting.
yeah,
They've
was
got
set up.
Spike.
Yeah, the Chamber was just lurking over towards B, got that first blood, and was left to just be that last layer on the attack. But now left in 1v3, this would be huge work. And like you said, the Spike still on the ground. Smoke spotted out, so Jid's positioning is known, but you swing
30
through this and
seconds
you
left.
are mince meat. There's no way you're getting out of this one alive.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, they've already been able to spam that Chamber down to 21 health. playing a little bit dangerously already, trying to go around, maybe pick up a kill on the other side. But as soon as they do that, well, everybody knows where you are. You got to be on this side of the
10
smoke. You got to be
seconds left.
somewhere. And you're playing a risky game, but they've just got to say there's just no other option available for them. They've got to be pushing through into 3 players, all holding A site there, protecting that spike from the attackers, making sure they don't get it.
Find you.
I'm surprised we're not going to be seeing much of a chase down. I suppose playing it safe is the right call here when you're so close, so close. We
They
might be
need to
looking
make
at
sure
overtime. This is crazy.
Yeah, they need to make sure to keep those guns just in case, right? They don't want to lose any of those out, as well as, I mean, yeah. And so coming into rounds 23 here, it's really anyone's game to take and get to that match point first. Null Command still in back pocket for on a roof, who honestly is having a bit of not that great of a performance over on Ascent, playing that deadlock, but here picking up the KO and has been absolutely stepping up to the plate here, hitting it out of the park. But it's going to need to go huge here. The hand of Jid, but oh my.
This is working out so far, though, for Prosperity X. They're going to have to be winning the next 2 rounds if they want to prevent overtime. And it's the only thing they can do if they want to be staying in the match series as well.
Go, go, go.
In this first match here in the Tenax series, Season 5. But Angel, using that ultimate, is able to get that kill onto Honor Roof. As a double peek comes out, he's able to find one trade out. 2v3 situation already, all onto A site now.
Last player
Defenders here
standing.
poking around. Gracious finding the kill. Stacking the odds against Psyduck here. But Psyduck has been able to make some ridiculous plays in the past. They've got Spike, going to be rotating round all the way to B, surely.
I'm out of here.
But he's playing like it, trying to get them to move off of A site to go back and
30
replant
seconds
it.
left.
And it seems to be working wonders. Because Prosperity X, they've given up A site. They're expecting a B site hold. They're expecting a plant, but it's not going to be coming through.
But still they have 3 players. They'll be able to spot,
Plant.
hear this out early. So it is a good plant, though, for the 1. This would be insane work. Still has the Nightfall in the back pocket for Psyduck and Joyer. Still so much work to do here.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do as well, because the favor is now on the attacker because they have the spike to play around. Sure, they've got 3 players. It's going to be almost impossible to pull off. And unfortunately, Gracious makes it so. But they did the absolute best that they could do with what they had. And unfortunately, it just wasn't quite enough this time around.
Couldn't get that one done, but it was a tall task, a tall order, nonetheless.
Match point.
So, first time in this series, Prosperity X will be able to get themselves to map point here on Corrode. And after a dominating performance, the second timeout comes out from Coach Shampoo. So, gonna pull this one out the very last moment. It'll be a full buy for both of these teams, but if you look over towards those ultimates, I mean, you definitely have the Nightfall online, the Overdrive as well, which combo very well together, right, with the Decay and the just insane shooting and DPS output from Overdrive. And so maybe Coach Shampoo coming out with a bit of a set play here, right, like we saw on the last round of Ascent, where it just, you had a bunch of ults, you invest all of them and you get the rounds, and that's that. But this time it's not for the map point. It's actually just to push it to overtime, right? They don't want to go to Sunset. They want to end it here and now. Make sure this is a 2-0 in their favor.
Absolutely. You really don't want to be risking going to that map 3 if you can. So trying their absolute best to put it into overtime to give themselves a better chance at winning is just the kind of competitive mindset that I really like to see in teams. So I think that this could go either way. Like you were saying, they do have plenty of ultimates in their favor, and how they use that is all going to come down in this fight here. They seem to be posting up on B site now, maybe having go for some kind of set play. They're playing pretty quickly already, taking mid already, pushing this Omen back all the way to A side. Now there's Gracious here holding it for the team in mid.
This way.
I know there's a number of players But Chris is going to be the first one to strike, taking out one of their ultimates available, Kellic Muncher. Now is the 3v5 situation already. And they are still in mid. They haven't even gone close to sight yet. And the defenses are looking incredibly strong. Oh, Chris is just sat there against the 4K already on the final round. It doesn't matter what kind of brilliant play you're going to be coming up with. Unfortunately, when you've got Chris just sitting there on the door, in the choke, getting that 4K, and you run straight into them. I mean, what do you think that what they were trying to do there, Skyline Gaming? Because it didn't seem to work out for them, unfortunately, in that last round.
I mean, they get it done, and they were trying to go for a similar play. I mean, right? I got deja vu from round number 23, where they went for that same play but got punished in the exact same manner. A bit unfortunate timing from Cake Muncher, right, to teleport into the smoke as it's dissipating, but a great job from Psyduck, Enjoyer, and I mean Chris there at the end, just to understand, okay, this is how we need to play this area of the map, right? We need to fight over mid link and top mid where they're going for these crunches. And it feels like both of these teams, specifically Prosperity X, has a really great understanding of certain sides of these maps. I really liked their approach here on this defense side. We didn't get to see them with the hard signal yet. They were playing the defense to such a great performance, but I mean, this could have gone any direction, Yafa. I mean, each team getting a pistol of their own and really just a back and forth bout the entire time. And if this is how it's going to be as we go into Sunset, I really have no idea which way this series is going to head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really don't know how this is going to end. It's been so close, like you're saying. I mean, if we see another kind of dominant performance by Skyline in that first map on Ascent, then maybe we'll see Ascent come out with a victory. But I mean, just look at Prosperity X. You know, they have it in them. They're not going to be giving up easily. They're going to be trying their absolute best to bring out the victories where they can. And Sunsets, I mean, what kind of strategies do you think they're going to be pulling out on Sunset? Who do you think this map might favor?
I think we'll continue to see, again, aggressive gameplays. I'm really not sure what type gameplay we'll see. I know Skyline will be very happy because Sunset is a map where you really want to go for some of those mid-round reclears. You get, especially on the defense, you get a lot of value from going a little bit more aggressive, but I'm looking at Prosperity to continue this success, right? It wasn't just the Gracious show this time. On a Roof had a great performance. Kim as well continued to step it up, as well as Gracious just continuing the domination from map number 1 for their team. So this really could go any which way, Yafa. But before Sunset comes up, we are going to throw it to a short little break. Just get some water, get some snacks. Make sure you guys are well hydrated because you're not going to want to be getting out of your chairs for this map number 3 of Sunset. Make sure not to go anywhere.
At the world from the eye of the Horus. If you Alexander the Great, then I am the Porus. Coming straight from the mud like I am a lotus. So हाथियों का बल कैसे सकेगा तू मुझे रोका? देख तू कैसे मैं लड़ूं, तुम लोगों से ऐसे ना डरूं. करूं मैं जिससे मैं तरुण, पानी पे चलूं मैं जिससे मैं वरुण. चाहे मैं जीऊं या मरूं, जो करना चाहूं मैं वही तो करूं. आता है तू ना करीब, तू बेटी चीप, जब तक कटे ना तेरी ये जीप. Better believe you're gonna bleed. Pick up a seat, get your team. I'm the king of kings. Brother in arms in a battle. You all gonna die if you act like a vandal. Bring the realms to reality from every angle. This is the public service announcement from Mumbai to the rest of the world. I am a Raja. I am the Raja. भिड़ेगा तो उठेगा जनाजा ना. तू मेरी तरफ आना. आ गया तो होगा फिर तनाज़ाना. ये भारतीय भाषा फिर दुनिया सुनेगी ये तराना ना. 'Cause I am the Raja. 'Cause I am the Raja. I am the. 'Cause I am the Raja. Look in my eyes, what do you see? I'm more than average, man. I'm a maverick, I can grow flowers on a barren land. Break a mountain with my bare hands and step back and cause a literal avalanche. Should've been about us traveling. अष्टभुजाएं मेरी जैसा मैं टरेंचुला ना है कोई तोड़ मेरा जब से पूर्वजों का ज्ञान मिला मेरे जैसा मिलेगा कोई ना तू और चाहे जो भी था सबकी कबर मैंने खोदी क्या तुम लगाओगे बोलियां कम पड़े गोलियां चंद्रगुप्त ने मौर्य या किला तू लोरिया come to me and you just gonna die that's really a given I am invincible and you are invisible see that's really a difference get out of my way I'll leave the world the choice is yours I don't kill my enemies I play with them that's what the toys are for from Mumbai to the rest of the world I am the Raja भिड़ेगा तो उठेगा जनाजा ना तू मेरी तरफ आना आ गया तो होगा फिर तनाजा ना ये भारतीय भाषा फिर दुनिया सुनेगी ये तराना ना 'Cause I am the Raja 'Cause I am the Raja Put your back down on your knees.
Hello and welcome back. We are here for the decider map between these two teams. And just like Zero Five was saying before we went to break, I hope you guys have gone ahead and grabbed a snack, a drink. But whatever it is, I hope it is not a Jaffa cake or a muffin, because I am not a delicious muffin. Okay, so do not be eating me no matter what you do. But we do have something else that will be interesting and you should be feasting on. It's this upcoming match between these two teams on Sunset. What do you think about this particular fight between these two teams? How's it gone down so far? What do you expect? What do you predict? What are your thoughts?
I mean, coming into this map, right? If we're going off of Corrode, which is Prosperity's map pick, it was a very close affair, right? But all the way back on Ascent, it was a bit more of a one-person show, I would say, or not one person, one team show, with Skyline really taking the lead there. The score was 7-13, I believe, but it didn't really that doesn't really show how in control Skyline was in some of those rounds. Really, just all on the back of Gracious. But here we'll get to see. I assume both teams pick up that Neon. I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of teams are really going down that route, and I think it'll be interesting to see how these teams approach this as far as compositionally. Because I think for Skyline, this really leans into how they were liking to play, right? On the defense, go for some of these more aggressive mid-round reclears, whether it be towards mid or those early fights towards B main or A main. And on the other side, I think Prosperity as well have a lot of things to look forward to, right? You can go for some of these more. Yeah, so it will be the breach. So especially in these breach comps, it's really dependent on the Neon to kind of be sent in there and have success. And so if Gracious is given the tools to, I mean, just go out and frag, it might just be that as the win condition. But we can't forget about Florentia, who has been the duelist on the other side for Skyline Otters and has had an absolute beast of a performance so far, Jaffa, which and it's kind of, I mean, I feel like we haven't necessarily talked about them as much, but they've consistently been putting up the numbers, and especially on that first map, had 11 first bloods. So just going absolutely nuclear, and both teams are going to be wanting to get this pistol and really try to get themselves off to a great start here. The only difference will be those Sentinels, of course, the Vise versus the Cypher.
I'm out of here.
Here we go.
Yeah, we are already heading into an aggressive start from this team already, trying to go into B site, already grabbing plenty of space, but unfortunately, it is going to be ending up in the favor of Skyline, as they are now 5 members all on point, getting set up nice and comfortable here. As Prosperity X are doing their best to try and play around. Trading out here, Gracious. Able to get that kill. Gets a second. Does not get a second even. Now 1v. It's a pistol. You got nothing to lose. Might as well go for it. But unfortunately, Honor Roof does not pull out any kind of miracles for them this time around. With our first map going to... first round even going to Skyline.
Yeah, and so they're able to get another pistol round, so 3-2 so far
Gotta go.
in that regards, and a great setup to really take this defense off guard early. And that's really what I think this Neon really allows you to do, right? You have that breach to send out those fault lines, set up your attack, and I mean, we saw it on Ascent where Psyduck Enjoyer was playing the KO and had so much value. Maybe wasn't the highest fragger, but was really enabling a lot of those early duels and facilitating them for Florentia. So here can do a very similar thing. Something that we didn't really get to see as much on the Fade. It's a solo initiator, but look at this. We have a double push through over towards A, and this, I don't want to bite to it, but still, maybe some little bit of damage. No, I jinxed it. So.
Oh, I can't believe it. What a classic move by the casters. Giving them a little bit of jinxing there. Unfortunately, Skyline doing a great job on the aggression here, on the attack. Once again, being able to put down Spike, putting themselves in a strong position, especially after getting that kill onto that Neon.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, beautiful kill there onto Kim, trying to peek that angle, but it's just not enough. I mean, I'm sorry, I mean, he's just all by himself, yeah.
What do you say, Drone? Ready to stretch your
Not only is it flawless here, but early building up to some of those early ults, excuse me, for Kayuki, who has 3 away from that Hunter's Fury, and it's a pretty clean buy. I mean, they can start getting this money rolling here, and on the attack side, this is what you want to do, right? Get some of these ults online early, start snowballing those, and so once you get towards some of those bigger, more important rifle rounds, you can have them just to get on site. And I mean, if you watched any Sunset during 2024, you saw the absolute chaos that the B site post plant was. So this round though, it's just a 1-4 setup, so really early aggression over towards mid, try to break the door and pressure that, but the utils traded back, and so they try to redirect their focus over towards A, and try to pull some of these rotates for the time being, but I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be a full committal. Look at the spike rotating back, making sure they play with their time, not overcommit to anything, especially in this round where they don't really have the weapon advantage to try to go for some of those more early duels.
Well, I don't need too many duels this time around, but Jin is posted up in a defensive position, able to get a kill already, putting them into a good standing on this fight here. As Kim comes around to help them, getting them up 2 kills, putting themselves in a 2v4 situation. Kim getting those 3k, Angel, Cake Muncher all by themselves, going for a kill, but unfortunately, they're just gonna be facing up against 3-4 players now. Gets flashed. Just nothing they can do. Beautiful there work by Kim and the rest of the team.
The winds shift in our favor.
Yeah, it was great, right? I mean, early on especially, there was no overcommitment to the fight towards mid. They traded back the util. They were confident in holding over towards the choke points. You can see it right now being pinged out, right? The little spots where you really have to worry about. And we're actually going to see a very similar start. So again, early mid pressure from the attackers. This time though, I believe it's a higher lower setup from the defense towards top mid to try to catch something off guard, and the spam takes them down, but it's traded. But oh, that is a rough way to go if you're gracious. And so Yafa, 10 seconds in, and 3 players dead.
Yeah, 3 players down already this early into a round. It's not looking good. We're for another quick one, no doubt. But they are slowing the pace down a little bit after losing a couple of their own players. Using what util they have here as breach, trying to clear out this site, give themselves an advantage of foothold onto the sites. And they are able to do that. Sova, though, and they're playing using the scanning drone to try and scan out, spot the locations. Trying to play as safely as they can here.
1 enemy remaining.
And it's paying off for them as they are able to pick up the kill onto Angel. With the ticking down, there's only so much they can do. Psyduck, unfortunately, going down there as well, as the duo are able to get the kills that they need and are able to even up the score, which is just what Prosperity X need in this fight. I hope we're going to be seeing yet another close, drawn-out fight back and forth between these two teams on this final map. And I guess it's a little bit too early to call, but it seems like it's going that way.
I want to point out, you see the pings on the minimap right now over towards the B site of the spam line, actually, that you want to be going for on the attack, and it kind of messed them up there. You don't have the smoke, so whenever you plant it deep in that cubby, it's a bit safer. You can spam where it's a bit better, but when you don't have the smokes and you're having to swing out like that in the post plant, 2 players over towards main is not necessarily ideal. Early shock dart to clear that out, but this is an eco round, remember. For the side of Skyline, you have 1 rifle in the hands of Kayuki, but Gracious going aggressive.
Too slow.
And they're able to pick up a kill, not able to train on more, but it's enough for the rest of the team to barrel on in and get a couple of kills themselves, which is going to be putting themselves up in a big advantage. Chris finally get another onto Angel, who's playing aggressively, pushing into A, but unfortunately, Chris was still there, ready and waiting. But the spike is still crawling up the side here.
Yeah, neither of the 2 weapons that were dropped by Gracious or Kayuki were picked up over towards mid, so it's still just a Marshal in the hands of Florentia and a Sheriff. Psyduck and Jory will have the Rolling Thunder if they get the plant down, but they decided to use that hero. It would be a huge investment. Maybe wait to get
Spike
1
planted.
frag and then go for something, especially it's noted.
Yeah, going for that ultimate might be a little bit risky when you're in this kind of situation, especially now. And in fact, it's entirely impossible when all of you are members down. But it's a great little spot that you pointed out there, not picking up those weapons, and that I'm not sure that cost them the round in this case, but it's certainly just a slight little disadvantage that they put themselves at that they probably didn't need to.
Now flee.
Yeah, and a good play by everyone there to not really invest those ults, don't get too caught in the moment.
Yes.
But on our roof, I want to make note of, again, I mean, 8100 creds, just absolutely big balling out here. Drops the operator to Jid as well. But really was having, I mean, sorry, but it was not a great performance on Ascent on the deadlock. It just wasn't. Some questionable plays, but ever since then, they have really stepped it up and have been, I mean, arguably the second, if not the most impactful player in the server here. And so again, is going to need to go huge here. Has that fault line out to get an early line and put that pressure on. And there goes the ultimate, but gets caught out here.
But I think this is going to be more than enough. They're putting themselves in a strong position. They're starting to pile out now, and they've managed to insert Neon all the way back there into T-side.
Spike down A.
At least that's
One
what I
enemy
thought, but
remaining.
unfortunately, it's all falling apart rather quickly. One of these players is going to be going down here in this little duel. They only have 2 HP, 1v1. Are they going to be able to isolate it? They do now have the spike. Going to be using their ultimate to TP all the way over to B side to plant the spike, to give themselves a little bit of time to try and set up and spot the angles that Cypher might be coming from. Playing around the spike as well, because the favorite's going to be in Cypher. Cypher's got, you know, cameras. He can isolate places. He knows where you're not going to be because of these tripwires. And they're able to find that kill. And that is yet another round win here. Poor Kim and his team. Able to pick up that victory there. Diffusing the spike beautifully. I mean, how would you break down what went on right there? Because there was a lot of things that went down rather quickly all over on A side.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of, I mean, just chaos there, especially early on. I don't even, I'd say there's a lot of analysis, but not checking corners will do a lot of damage to you, actually, if you weren't aware. And both Rolling Thunders were invested there and traded back and forth, but really no one was able to super heavily actually capitalize off of either of them, and it kind of just evolved into sporadic different 1v1s, but Cake Muncher really tried their best there. And so as the lead gets extended by 2, I mean, Prosperity were able to, or not Prosperity, excuse me, Skyline were able to get the pistol, but this time it's actually the side of Prosperity X who are kind of running away with this one on the defense side, and it's really off the back of Kim and these defensive setups, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's just the kind of difference a strong Cypher player is going to be able to make, because you are able to kind of play in a way which presents a lot of threat to the attackers with how you set up. You can play a lot of different mix-ups as well as Cypher. You can change how you're placing your tripwires. You can place them high, low, try and get a kill, to try and stall. You can play your cameras to, you know, check where they're playing. And it's really a speed run as well for the Cypher to make sure that they're getting up the setup correctly and as well as they can. And Cypher works for both of these sides as well really well. But here we go, though, and yet another round as there's Neon here for Orienta playing aggressively, finding the tripwire as the rest of the team follow through as the minefield is cleared. Spike being planted in a reasonably good spot as well, but the rest of the team are around. They're going to be flashing. The spike did get planted anyway, even. They are now on site, the defenders. This is not a good position for the attackers as they all start to lose. The Serverall comes out in good time this time and is able to try and cause some problems, but they are going to be able to stick it anyway. Not too low on health. The remaining player is just left alive and they're going to get chased down, no doubt. On a roof, picking up that kill. Great round for Prosperity X there.
And I know that there's been some close affairs so far, but ever since the pistol round and the follow-up, I mean, this has just been the Prosperity X show time and time again. They have a perfect read on what is going down over in the Skyline Otters camp. They just perfectly flood retake there, and there's just absolutely nothing that can be done. They're on the same wavelength every single time. Paranoia early, not really to get anything off that, but there's the Hunter's Fury to combat with it. And Gracious going down mid, so touching everyone off guard here.
Spike
Yifa.
down A.
Yeah, but Jin is the one who's going to be capitalizing on all of this chaos, picking up 2 kills. Chris coming in as well, leaving 1 member remaining. Skyline here, Angel is unfortunately put themselves in a difficult situation. They're not going to be able to pick up the kill against Gracious there. Unfortunately, losing out on the Angel, Gracious getting a single tap to the head, and Angel goes down.
Man, I mean, I feel like this looks like this is some of the best performance we've seen from Prosperity X, especially as a team, as a unit.
Yeah.
The overall defensive game plan is just so good. They have such a good understanding and are executing their game plan to a T here so far. Operator still in the hands of Jid, but this is another rifle round for the side of Skyline. They really need to get something going here. I believe that dart, yeah, it's stuck on to Chris there, or to
Revealing
KUV.
area.
But the Cypher finally switching setups. And how do they deal with this?
This is exactly the thing with the Cypher. They can mix up their setups. You can mess around with the attackers. And now they're going to have to be dealing with a slightly different situation that they were expecting from before. And, well, they did manage to spot the spike. So they do know that the spike is on A. As the team starts to rotate around, they are able to take points. And it's looking good so far for Skyline. Able to pick up the kill. Chris here and Jid coming out on top, able to get those kills, retaking the sites, capturing where the spike is. It's now under the control of the defenders. And now there's just a lone Angel once again. 1v3 situation. Spike completely in control of the defenders. I mean, do you believe in miracles?
Nothing is impossible here. But it would
30 seconds
have
left.
to start here with this first kill onto Gracious. It's not completely undoable. Could isolate this one, but 20 seconds, the time's ticking here. Needs to make a move on. Just can't get it done. 5 rounds now separating these two teams.
Watch them run when lit.
After this has been, I mean,
when we strike.
definitely a back and forth series, especially over on Corrode. But Yafa, I mean, I feel like there's not been a single moment for Skyline to breathe here. And they called their first timeout, but it really has just been the same old since then. Not really able to get a strong foothold or anything going here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what Skyline need to do to be able to win this, but they clearly need to be making some kind of change because it doesn't seem to be working out for them, unfortunately, as Gracious is playing extremely aggressive with his Neon, able to pick up the kill, taking a leave out of the playbook of what we were seeing in a sense, and now it's the side of Prosperity X that are doing all the work. But thankfully, though, at least for Skyline, they are put themselves into a 3v2 situation now, at the very least, giving themselves a little bit of advantage. Although I don't know how quickly this advantage will be around for long, because it could disappear at any moment. And they're playing cautiously, keeping their backs watched, trying to check all the angles.
No one
And they are able to finally secure a round win for Skyline. I was saying, I don't really know what they're going to be able to do to win a victory here, but they are able to get something, and that is enough. But they have a couple of rounds left in the half, a few alternates remaining. Are they going to be able to win any more rounds on the attack?
I think if they continue that, I mean, good reaction, quick reactions to come out there. But they have the Steel Garden, a few away from, I mean, all of their ultimates, really. But they're going to have to break through this higher-lower once again. They've got punished for it for Prosperity in a few rounds prior, but this time they come out on top.
And the kills, though, where they need them.
Right here.
Themselves into a 3v2 situation, playing slow. They do have B-side under wraps. And yet, despite that, they seem to be considering a rotate. But all this time that they've been slightly wasting his time to honor roof to make a rotation, go around and catch off guard Silver player.
Yeah, so that's no Hunter's Fury for the post plant. The Steel Garden, excuse me, sent out, so we'll have a little bit of delay. The smokes are still online for Cake Muncher, but the flank's coming through. There's no way they expect this. Ult's invested. No way.
Enemy remaining.
No! Cool behind them in a surprise flank. And it's enough. I think the attackers win from that. They win. Skyline, sorry. From that little flank. Especially if that ultimate got committed and
I mean, I think obviously it wasn't looking good either way, especially with the known positioning of Cake Muncher, but it's just a bit brutal there from On a Roof, who has had such an insane performance, but can't fault them for wanting to invest that there. So bit of a recovery here from the attackers. Still the Hunter's Fury and Rolling Thunder online for them, one away from the overdrive. And here comes the exact. No one on site. Jin stuck in the tens position. But it's going to be a 5v5 retake here. Oh, never mind. I should smoke.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
What? Did you catch what just happened? No.
Flawless.
That was
Go, go, go!
I don't even know what happened there. It was just so much going on. It's so quick. The Rolling Thunder got sent out, and I thought it was gonna be a retake, but no smoke towards Boba just allowed the defenders to take that fight and once again have success on those flood retakes. Those were looking so clean for the attack, and if Prosperity come into this, or their attack, excuse me, with similar ideas and similar cohesion, this might be a quick closeout to what once seemed like a so close series. So early holding for the fault line gets sent back, but Florencia is still caught off guard. Gracious beats that timing and takes down the opposite Neon, so still has some utility to clear out. Traded those aftershocks. Kim surrounding Kayuki. Psyduck Enjoyer. There's so much pressure on this A site. And Cake Muncher takes the timing, swings through smoke, and picks up two with the classic. It's Chaos Incarnate over here. Right click's not able to connect, so two is all they get done, and so now left into a 1v3. Once again, Angel can't get it done. On a Roof cleans that one up, and the pistol rounds extends the lead for Prosperity X and gets them a 9th round. And for what seems like the first time in the whole series, they seem to be streaking these together and just leading by, I mean, so much.
They are indeed. The lead is growing more and more by the round. I was wondering how well this would turn out for them once they have switched sides, but it seems that for Prosperity X, their attacking is just as good as their defensive strategies they were pulling off earlier, and their coordination has been excellent. Once again, taking A site without too much difficulty, finding the opportunity, the weakness in their composition, and forcing them out. Going to play a little bit safer. Bucky comes out, not able, gets the kill, but isn't able to turn the tides, unfortunately. As more and more members here of Skyline go down, this is yet another victory for Prosperity X, giving themselves even greater lead. 6-round difference, and only a couple of rounds away from clinching this entire series for the first series in Tenax Series 5 for them. And it's going to be putting them in a good standing too.
Yeah, and this is the group stage. I don't think we touched on that, but this is a group stage before you head into playoffs, so not the most impactful game, obviously, especially here in week number 1. Still have plenty of matches to play, but if you want to kind of get off to a strong start, it's exactly what you want for your season. great Thorn set up to take down Gracious. And that's a spearhead gone for this attacking team.
And they're really going to be needing that spearhead as much as possible. But I guess that's all that they really need. Hopefully they'll be able to get a victory off this. And it seems like it has been. But it's not over just yet. After all, this Cypher could turn around. But it's not needed as a Team Ace comes out there. Oh, Skyline. And it's all that they really needed. But they just need to do that, 5 more times. Do you think that's possible? I mean, I think it could be possible.
It definitely is possible, to be honest. I mean, we've seen this team have great moments where they're able to shriek rounds together. And especially, I mean, I was talking about it earlier on, but the combo between Psyduck Enjoyer and Florentia has been phenomenal so far throughout the whole series. This map, though, it's been lacking just a little bit. We really haven't gotten to see the impact of that Breach Util come out all that often. So, Shock Darts to come through, break what would be a Cypher trip, but guess what? You're not playing against a Cypher. You're playing against a Vise, one that can take names. And Gracious, once again, taken down early. Another first death for that player. And when you're losing your Neon so early on in some of these rounds, Prosperity X really going to have to pick up the rest of the pieces, but look at the map right now. There's no one on the A site, and Psyduck Enjoyer has to watch 2 separate angles. Has to watch the jump up over towards cross, or slant, excuse me, and towards elbow, so Spike will go down. There's an opportunity here.
There is an opportunity for them indeed, and they have so far taken it, putting the Spike down as the fight breaks out. All the utility and guns coming out here. Skyline able to pick up a couple of kills thanks to their Neon. But unfortunately for them, Kim, they've set up here the side of sight, so able to find those kills, putting themselves in a 2v1 situation, putting themselves up yet another round. I mean, I feel like that was in the cards for Skyline, but yeah, it just didn't quite work out. What do you think that might have been?
If I'm being honest there,
just aim difference?
I mean, I'm not sure. I was looking at the flash swing through where they're set up in that 4v5. They have On a Roof and I believe it was Kayuki, and just not able to get anything or done there. So a bit tragic, but 9 players set up over towards A early on here. Gracious.
Fortunately, Gracious goes down early again. It's not going to be putting themselves in a strong position. Thankfully, they are able to eventually trade out with the Neon. And with the Neon being so important in these teams, well, I guess it's not quite how I expected it to go, but now it's the rest of these team members. And unfortunately, it's up to Angel to clutch. They really have no other choice in this situation. Spike being planted as well, giving the the attackers even more of an advantage. But it's really up to Angel. Are they going to know there's a couple of players lurking around the side? Are they going to be able to catch them off guard? They are able to catch one off guard, and unfortunately, they get traded out with Chris taking that victory. Now it is just match points, as the announcer says. Oh, this could be devastating here for Skyline. They've done so well in the first map as well. Second round, playing it back and forth. And yet in the end, they've just not quite yet able to take the series. But it's not over. I can't count the chickens before they've hatched.
But
oh, hang on, that's not quite the racing.
They forced their bye last round, and so now into this one, they're going to force again Kayuki. Not realizing that this is do or die, only has a Sheriff, 1,400 credits still in the back pocket, but everyone really just playing with scraps here, so you're gonna maybe be seeing Florentia with the Overdrive. You have the Steel Garden as well, and those are going to be the tools that really need to find a lot of value here.
Yeah, they're playing slowly, which is a little bit different than they've been before. Sure, this Neon is posted up far to try and get as much information as possible, and that's kind of how you would like to be playing that Neon. As they start to go for the execute, Jid already getting the kill. Oh, it's not off for a strong start for Skyline, unfortunately. They are able to trade out there with Gracious going down. This Neon Ultimate, unfortunately, isn't able to find anyone. with one ultimate remaining for them. How well are they going to be able to use this as Prosperity X? They know that they're all posted up on A right now. They're all going to have to rotate around, and now, unfortunately for Skyline, they've used all of their ultimates. And it's a 2v4 situation.
30 seconds
Prosperity X, they still have 2 of their own ultimates online as well. And they've had the time to set up on B sites. This is not looking good. It could be disaster, unfortunately, for Skyline. They started so strong in this series, but it all comes down to this. They'll push down now into map 3. Ultimate's coming online now, being used by Prosperity X to try and secure the victory. 1v4 situation. As somebody's coming in, chasing them down for the knife, but Kim coming in and denying the opportunity to get that knife kill, securing them the victory on the map Sunset. And not just Sunset, but the entire series as well. That was a beautiful play by all of the players of Prosperity X. They did an amazing job. Oh, but how do you think that this is going to put them?
I mean, a great performance from both of these teams. I gotta say, I mean, Skyline Otters, they got to be kicking themselves after map number 2. They had, I mean, it was a close affair, right? On Corrode, it was 10-10 at one point, but then they just kind of let it slip out of their grasp. And coming on to Sunset here, it was so impactful from, I mean, all of them, right? Kim really came alive here, 21-9, picked up the performance, and Gracious didn't even really have to have that prime performance that we were seeing in those first 2 maps for their team to come out with that victory. But Yafa, I really think it came down to the defense and just streaking some of those rounds together, right? They got, I believe, 7 rounds in a row where they just had an absolute flawless read on Skyline Otters, and the defensive rotates, everything was just so perfectly put together. I would love to hear some of those comms and just get a little bit of insight on how they were calling that defense, because if I'm looking at Prosperity, Sunset looks like one of their best maps. It looks, I mean, in my opinion, obviously the scoreline shows it too, but it looked better, at least the defense, than Corrode and especially Ascent, where Skyline Otters, maybe just the silver lining, played pretty well there. So a little bit of something, but I mean, Prosperity X showing great resilience throughout this series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think resilience is very important in any kind of game, not just as the series goes on, maps go on, and you may find yourselves in a deficit. I mean, Prosperity X, on that first map, they themselves were down 7 rounds in a row against Skyline Otters, I think. And yet they were still able to maintain, a good mental strength, come around, get a victory on Corrode, and then, like you said, they were just dismantled the offense of Skyline Otters with that incredible defense that Cypher just setting up beautifully time and time again, knowing how they're going to be playing as a team as well. And I think we're going to be looking at quite a strong team for the rest of the series. I think it's a team to watch.
Yeah, I certainly. So, I mean, there's a reason why some of these names, I know, especially like Gracious, Jid, and Kim, have been mainstays in the Tenax series for all the way back in Tenax Series 1, right? I know some of these players as well, like Angel as well, but whenever you have players that have played together and played alongside each other for so long, you can kind of see some of the resilience and just team coordination come into play. So both of these teams definitely going to be ones to watch in the upcoming weeks. Speaking of that, make sure to check us out again next Thursday at 6 p.m. CST. Can get your champs in the morning, and then at night come for some Tenax series and have yourself a fun little day of watching some Valorant. But thank you for joining me on the cast today, Yafa. Thank you to Multitudes for observing as well. And thank you to you guys for coming out and supporting these wonderful teams here. But that is going to be all from us for tonight. Like I said, make sure to come back next Thursday, 6 p.m. Central, for more 10X Series 5. Catch you later.